I am not Dave Ramsey. I am not about to tell you that eating at a restaurant is why you are broke. I am not about to yell at you because you financed the car. And I'm definitely not going to act like every person with debt is financially stupid. But I will tell you this: debt is trash, especially consumer debt. Because every time you get paid and half your check already belongs to somebody else, you're working for money you already spent. Your car payment, credit cards, Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, personal loans, whatever it is. Everybody gets paid Friday, but your old decisions get paid first. And that's what I hate about debt. Not because owing money makes you a bad person, because debt makes your future income less powerful. Now, this is where people get tricked. You see a $600 car payment. I see $7,200 a year of lost cash flow. You see $300 going towards credit cards. I see another $3,600. You got another $200 floating around in buy now, pay later payments, and that's $2,400. We're already at $13,200 a year, and you keep saying, I need to make more money. Maybe you do. Maybe that's true. But you might also need to stop owing everybody some money. Because what good is making $80,000 a year if $20,000 of it is already spoken for before you can build anything else? Debt doesn't only cost interest. Debt costs options. You can't invest that payment. You can't save it. You can't use it to build a business. You can't use it when an emergency hits. You can't use it to take a calculated risk. You already spent it. And that's why I'm aggressive about debt. This is probably where me and Dave Ramsey are going to separate a little bit. I don't believe a credit card is some demonic piece of plastic. The card isn't the problem. It's the behavior. If I put $2,000 on a card and already have $2,000 sitting there to pay it off, that's completely different from putting $2,000 on a card because I'll figure it out when I get paid. That's debt. And that's a distinction I want you to understand. See, I care about interest, cash flow, risk, behavior, and what the debt actually bought you. Because borrowing money at 29% for clothes, trash. Financing vacations you couldn't afford, trash. Making minimum payments while you're still swiping the card, trash. You using debt to create the appearance of a lifestyle your income can't actually support, man, that's financial cosplay. You look rich, but payday tells the truth. Now, this is where I want you to get tactical. Pull up every debt you have. Not mentally, actually pull it up. Make 5 columns: balance, interest rate, minimum payment, due date, type of debt. That's it. You need to see the battlefield before you start shooting. Because one of the reasons debt feels overwhelming is everything is floating around in your head. I think this card is about $3,000. No. What's the actual number? Give me the numbers. I think the interest rate is around. No. What is the APR? We don't fight imaginary numbers. Now, here's where I want to do this differently. Everybody talks about snowball versus avalanche. Cool. I want you to find your debt attack number. That's the amount above your minimum payments that you can consistently throw at debt every month. Let's say after doing your budget, you find $250. Then you cancel some garbage and find another $100. You start cooking a little more and find another $150. Then you pick up one extra shift or side hustle and generate another $400. Your debt attack number is now $900 a month. That is your weapon. That's your Glock 19, all right? And here's the important part. I don't want random extra payments. I want a number that you can reproduce, because $1,000 payment feels good, but $900 every month for a year, that's $10,800 of pressure. Consistency beats financial theatrics. People will argue, snowball, avalanche, I don't really care. People will argue about this all day, and mathematically, the avalanche is superior. Okay. Psychologically, the snowball creates momentum. Okay. You know what's better than both? The method you actually complete. If killing a $700 balance next week makes you feel like Thanos and gets you locked in, kill it. If you've got a 30% card eating you alive and you're motivated enough to attack the highest interest first, kill that. I'm much more interested in execution than winning a personal finance debate. Pick your target. Minimum payments on everything else. Every extra dollar attacks one debt. Kill it. Roll that payment into the next one. Now your debt attack number gets bigger. Kill another. Roll it again. Now we cooking. Now, here's another place that I'm not going to be reckless. I don't want you throwing every dollar you have at a credit card. Then your transmission goes out. And guess where the repair goes? Right back on the credit card. Congrats. We just ran a financial lap and ended up at the starting line. Build a starter emergency cushion appropriate for your household and risk. Then attack. See, because debt elimination without cash reserves can turn into pay the card, emergency, use the card. Pay the card, emergency, use the card again. And that's not progress. That's a treadmill running in place, going exactly nowhere. Okay? You need a spending firewall, and this is huge. You cannot aggressively pay off debt while simultaneously creating new debt. That's like trying to drain the bathtub with the faucet still running, man. Come on, bro. So we create a firewall. Delete saved cards from shopping apps. Turn off buy now, pay later. Unsubscribe from marketing texts that constantly get you to spend some money. Unsubscribe from marketing texts that constantly make you spend. Put a 24 or 48 hour waiting period on non-essential purchases. And here's one I really like. Make impulse spending inconvenient, because everybody talks about willpower, but I want friction. You need friction. Make stupid purchase harder to make. Okay? We got to tighten up, man. This is probably my biggest difference in tone. I'm not trying to build a life where your greatest financial achievement is learning how to survive on nothing. There's a floor to how much you can cut, but there's a much higher ceiling on what you can actually earn. So if your debt attack number is only $200, that's cool. Now let's turn $200 into $500. How? Picking up some overtime, learning how to be a barber, learning how to edit videos for people, photography, tutoring, freelancing, selling some kind of service, learning sales, creating content, skill stacking, okay? Whatever makes sense for you. Now, if you can create an extra $1,000 a month and send that entire $1,000 towards debt, now we're not trimming around the edges. We're attacking principle. You don't need to live miserable for 7 years. You need margin, aggression, increased income. Okay? Now, once again, don't celebrate paying off debt by creating new debt. And this happens all the time. Car gets paid off, and you know what? I've been driving this thing for the last 5 years. No! Sit down. You don't need another car. You just freed up $600 a month. Keep the $600. You've been living without it anyway. Redirect it. Emergency fund, next debt, investments, business, assets, whatever is next in your system. But don't financially escape the payment, then immediately go shopping for another payment. That's how people make more money for 20 years and somehow never create margin. We gotta look at the real goal, okay? And so the real goal isn't debt free. And this is important. I don't want your entire financial identity to become I'm debt free. That's a milestone, not the actual destination, because you can have zero debt and zero assets, zero investments, zero skills, zero emergency savings, zero ownership, and that's not where we're stopping. The sequence is control your spending, create some margin, build your cushion, destroy destructive debt, increase income, build assets, invest consistently, create options. Debt freedom gives you back your shovel. Now you actually have to build something. So, no, I ain't Dave Ramsey. It's Carl Anthony, Tony. And I'm not here to tell grown people that they stupid because they finance something. I'm here to make you understand what that payment is actually costing you, because I don't want you making more money just so you can afford more payments. I want you making more money while needing less of it to maintain your lifestyle. That's when things get dangerous, because now your paycheck doesn't immediately disappear. Now you got margin, you've got reserves, you got investment capital, you got options, and eventually you get to experience something a lot of people haven't experienced in years: getting paid and money actually belonging to you. That's the goal. Debt is trash. Let's take it out. Peace.